Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Chips and Talk. Grab a snack, let's chat. This is episode 14, I believe. You may notice I'm a little bit more calm, a little bit more reserved, a little bit more introspective. That's because it's fucking almost 2 a.m. here. Why I'm recording at this time, I don't know. I probably would be fine with recording at this time if I didn't have a fucking bright ass light right in front of me. But hey, that's what people got to do, to make a video around here on YouTube. Now, of course, you might be listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I'm not on that platform, but I will be soon, and I keep saying that every single episode, and I'm still not there. But anyways, again, you might be listening on Apple, Spotify. If you are, please leave a review if you're enjoying this podcast. Leave something, okay? But I appreciate the listen. And if you're not on that, you're probably on YouTube watching my beautiful face and my beautiful mannerisms. You hear it? Yeah. You might be on my YouTube channel, superjesusjackson. If you are, I really appreciate that. I like that you are double dipping. I like that you are getting my audio and you are getting my video. It's really appreciated. But, again, at the end of the day, whichever way that you're here, I really appreciate it. Appreciate the listen. But here we are, Chips and Talk. What we do here is we literally eat some chips or any snack for that matter, and we discuss. We pick a random topic from the internet and we discuss. I guess that's kind of contradicting there. We pick a random topic. That kind of doesn't make any sense. Am I in focus? Yes, I'm in focus. Sorry, it's always the worst thing ever when you record and you find out you weren't in focus. That's the worst. But yes, you get a random topic randomly. Or we do, right? And then we discuss. That's what we do. Now, obviously, I'm not the only one that's eating a snack. You are eating a snack as well. Or you might be driving. You might be on your lunch, whatever it is. I don't know what you're doing with your life. But please let me know what snack you are munching on. That'd be great. Now, it's not always chips. Sometimes we go with ice cream. Sometimes we go with peanuts, nuts, specifically nuts. And sometimes we don't go with any chips at all or any snack. Like right now, because it's 2 a.m. and I'm still sort of full. From a meal that I ate 4 hours ago. But I don't know, for some reason towards the end of the night I get even more fuller. Even fuller. There it is. That's correct. Correct grammar. I think that's a word. But anyways, yes. So again, let me know what snack you are munching on. I would love to know because I love trying out new things. In fact, if you have something completely new that you would like me to try, I don't know, some foreign snack or something, let me know. I might order it from the Amazon and get it delivered. But let's begin here, shall we? Let's open up that Google Chrome and we're going to pick a random topic, of course, from random topic generator on YouTube. I mean, where the fuck else would I get it? But anyway, I hope your day's been going well. Mine has been going decent, and I say this every time. Whenever someone asks me how my day is going, I always just say, it's all right, because it's better to just kind of be in the middle, because if you go too good, if you're like, oh, my day's going great, then you're going to get a fucking flat tire. If you say, oh, my day's going shitty, you're going to have the best day of your life at the end of the day. So either way, you're wrong, and that's not okay. So that didn't make any sense, but I'm trying to fucking find the random topic generator here. There it is. All right, here we go. Let's get this party started, shall we? Everyone is sleeping. Everyone is sleeping in my house, but here I am, loud as fuck. Anyways, here we go. What do you fear is hiding in the dark? This is really great stuff. Usually this website here, capitalizemytitle.com, they usually don't really have I mean, this is the best random topic generator site I've been to, but they occasionally hit us with some really deep topics here, and this is one of them. What do you fear is hiding in the dark? I'm going to tell you guys a little story here, a little overarching story, a little too personal of a story. But I didn't sleep on my own, in my own bed, in my room, until I was probably like 13 or, late 12, if not definitely 13 or 14. I think it comes from the fact that just when I was a kid, I was very just kind of, I wasn't pampered, I would say, but I definitely was very overprotected. And so I think that's a part of it. And I think I just always slept with someone ever since I was a kid, and like for some reason it just always happened that way, and it got to the point where I was still doing it when I probably needed to get my own room, like what age did you get your own room? Like what, like 6, 5, like probably earlier. I don't fucking know. I was a late bloomer, I'll tell you. And so I didn't sleep alone. I slept with a parent, and my parents were divorced, so are still, and were at the time. And so I just, I always slept with a parent, and obviously, thankfully, I ended up doing the right thing. I ended up being able to sleep by myself eventually, just because of time. I got older, and thank God for biology, right? Like it's just, you get to a certain age where you start just valuing your privacy, and you want to be alone, and you just want to be, you know what I mean, And so thankfully biology kicked in, and I was able to do the right thing. And my parents were probably like, fuck yes, you know what I mean? But, the thing about it is sleeping on your own has a lot to do with the unknown, has a lot to do with darkness. I remember being like 11 or something, or 12, and maybe younger, I don't fucking know, and trying to go to sleep, and I would have like fucking night lights on and shit, and I had this fucking like thing that had a bunch of fishes and shit, and it was kind of this like moving kind of like not a volcano light or lava lamp, kind of like that, but less fancy, and it was just like a fish fucking thing. It was a fish light, and it's hard to fucking explain. The point, it was a light, and it made a little too much noise. But I had it, and it was actually very distracting. I wasn't able to fall asleep, but I think a big part of it is just I just wasn't ready to do so. I just wasn't there, mentally. But I was super afraid of fucking sleeping by myself, man. It was just terrible, absolutely terrible. Like I had so much anxiety, so much fear, and again, it is about the unknown. It is about the darkness, because I remember I would wake up. Actually, waking up is an overstatement. I did not wake up because I did not go to sleep. So I was just trying to go to sleep, and I would just be awake, right? And it's that thing where you have your eyes closed, but you're still awake, And so I got off my bed, and I opened my bedroom door, and it wasn't closed all the way. I still had it semi-open, if not all the way fucking open. I don't know. And I went to the fucking hallway, and I was just like, looked down the hallway, and it was dark. Everyone's sleeping, right? And I just fucking see right in the pitch darkness in the abyss, I just form like this figure with like a fucking hat, this fucking demon. I don't fucking know, something. This fucking, ominous figure, I don't fucking know. And I'm just fucking, I'm not like vividly seeing this thing, but I'm very much being like, oh my God, there is this thing there, And I just fucking hyped myself up, that is. Like, I was just fucking scared, and I went to my sister, and I was like, oh my God, like, can I sleep with you, please? Like, and so, I did, and, I ended up doing that, and there was only a few times where I did manage to sleep by myself, and, it was always great, but it was always the first day, and the second day I would fail, or the third day, whatever it is. But it was fucked, man. And, the thing about the darkness is, because it's unknown, the only thing that is there is your imagination. That's the only thing. And your brain runs wild with creating images, creating visions, creating realities that are not reality, right? Because it's pure darkness. In fact, it's almost like a metaphor for a canvas, a white canvas. But in this case, it's the opposite. It's contradicting. It's black. You know what I mean? And it is a place where your brain just goes amok. In the same way that an artist's brain might go amok on a white canvas, you know? And so it's just a perfect place. It's the unknown, right? And so because it's unknown, we get egotistical, we get super reserved, we get very anxious. And so we start imagining the worst things imaginable because that's the way to combat darkness. That's the way to combat the unknown. You start hating what you don't understand. You start hating what you don't see. You start getting anxious over imagination, you know? And so I think, and it comes very much from, proclaimed psychologist and scholar Jordan Peterson has talked about this with, Adam and Eve, just how they were originally naked. And when God, called them out for it, right? Or when they bit the apple, they realized they were naked. They were aware. They had self-awareness now. They had ego. And that was the end of that. They were like, fuck, we're naked. We got to hide, and God was calling them and they were hiding, because they were ashamed of what they did, but also they were hiding their private parts with bushes and shit because they were ashamed of themselves. They're like, we're fucking naked. Like, this is bad. We're vulnerable. And vulnerability is a huge thing. And that's what darkness does to you. That's what the unknown does to you. It's just pure vulnerability. And so the normal thing to do is fucking be like, oh my God, no, like hide, go away, run away, right? That's the first thing you do in danger and fear. You run away, and so you hide. And I think a way to combat this, is kind of this thing of sort of, even the question itself, what do you fear is hiding in the dark? I don't know. One way you could look at it is it's hiding in the dark. It's hiding. It doesn't want me to see it, right? But obviously because it's ominous and our fucking brain goes amok, we're like, no. This fucking thing is trying to get me on purpose. But I think there's really no other way to combat it other than the fact that you just have to understand that it's the unknown and you don't know. So in the same way that it could fuck you over by not knowing, and it might be the most terrible fucking thing ever. It might be the worst demon to ever imagine. It might also be the complete opposite. But there is a reason why darkness is very ominous. It's darkness, it's just black, there's nothing there, it's grim, there's a reason why we use these certain, like grim, gloomy, like gray skies and rainy nights, and just like cloudy days, it's just a more grayish color, like we're emotional creatures and we associate certain emotions to certain patinas and it's just that's what we do, you know what I mean? When we look at something that's pitch black, it's not inviting, not at all. It's scary. And so what we do is we turn on a light. We get a flashlight, right? Because something that's bright and light, we're like, fuck. Now we can see everything. Now we feel safe. We can traverse. We see the road. We can walk. We see the path. We see what we're touching. We see what's in front of us. We see what's behind us. We see everything. And so we have power. We now have knowledge, right? Righteous knowledge, that is, right? And so, and here's the thing too, you know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I would watch certain movies that I probably shouldn't have watched. And I know a lot of people, they say, well, fuck, like I did this and I played fucking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And look at me, I'm fine. That might be the case for some people. I'm not going to say it's not the case for anyone, but for me, like, I'm not going to lie, that shit did affect me in some way. Thankfully not, to the point where I do something horrific, but my brain is definitely different because of certain things like that. It's just, it'd be stupid to think that nothing of that sort affects your brain. Like, of course it does, And there's some positive that did happen because I got exposed to certain material that I probably shouldn't have been exposed to at the age that I did. There's a positive to that. I'm a little bit more creative. I'm a little bit more provocative, if you will. And it gives me a good edge. It gives me a good tool for creativity and work and side projects. But it also comes with the baggage, which is the fact that, I was exposed to things that I shouldn't have been exposed to at the time. And so what it ended up creating was this kind of contradicting mind in my head, where I would go to sleep as a kid after watching like The fucking Exorcist or something, right? Which is like the worst fucking movie you can ever show a kid. Still to this day, that movie creeps me the fuck out, right? And so, in a good way, now, I'm more fascinated by it and intrigued than scared now, but, back in the day, show this to a fucking 12, 8-year-old, whatever the fuck, they'll have trouble sleeping at night a little bit. But, thankfully, I didn't, but I would go to sleep and it would still fuck with me in the way where, like, in my head, I would be like, oh, I want the devil to possess me. Like, I would just say that over and over again. And it's this thing where a kid does everything and says everything that you tell them not to do or say, right? If you tell a kid, don't touch that, if they'll take it to heart and they will never touch it again. And then you're like, but I told you to touch this. And they're like, but you told me fucking 3 years ago to not touch it. So that's why I'm not touching it now. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like that. But, I watch this movie and, I fucking do this shit. I do this contradicting thing over and over again, where I would just fucking be like, devil possess me or something like that. It's just the complete opposite of what you would want me to do after watching a movie like The Exorcist, right? That's the last thing that should be coming out of my mouth, let alone a 12-year-old kid's mouth, or younger. And so it was pretty fucked. I eventually did fall asleep, I guess, but with the parent, at the time, but it was fucked. And I don't know if I want to expose my kid to that shit. I really don't. That's why they have fucking ratings, for a reason, and I think that definitely contributed a little bit to it, Sorry, guys, I'm going to take a little sip of water. Oh, that ASMR action. Sorry, I didn't give you the ASMR action originally. I know I'm supposed to do that usually with chips and stuff and with snacks. But maybe I'll give you some of this, some of this, some of that, some of this. What about this? What about this? Is that better? But yeah, and then when it comes to video games, certain games definitely did scare the shit out of me, like Resident Evil 4, Manhunt 2. Jesus Christ, man. Those are not games like a kid should be playing. But I did it, and it really solidified certain ideas creatively in my head. I think it's part of the reason why I'm very provocative because of that, and it's why I like to go places creatively where most people don't usually go to, or in the way that I go with them, and it's just... So again, there's positives, but there's also negatives, and I think a lot of this contributed to just my paranoia and and the darkness, But it's so funny, I crave the very thing that I'm afraid of, I love horror movies, I love horror video games, I love like anything, not anything horror, because haunted houses, I'm still sort of a little bitch when it comes to that. Although my girlfriend has exposed me to a lot of haunted shit, and thank God, because it is opening me up to a whole new form of entertainment that I was just kind of deprived of a lot when I was a kid and a teenager. Yeah, it's so funny. I crave the very things that I hate in the mediums in which I'm comfortable with, like film, like video games, right? And with music, same thing, I guess. But I try to be very diverse with the music stuff. But what do I fear is hiding in the dark? My worst fear. That's the thing, right? You project your worst fear to that darkness, and that's awesome a little bit, right? Like, fuck, like that must be cool to be darkness. You get to be fucking everything, right? And part of the reason why you get to be everything is because there's nothing there, because there's room for everything, and I guess in a way that's a positive, and again, in a way that's also a negative. So I think what you got to do, just have a little faith. I'm just kidding. I'm not a man of faith. No, not at all. Not at all. Maybe when I get a little older, from what I heard, but yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've covered all my bases here. I've told you my deepest, darkest secret. I cannot believe that I just shared something like that where that I didn't sleep alone until I was like 12 or 13. And fuck, I remember one time my mom she told me she was trying to be a little bit more strict about it, and she fucking closed the door on me. She didn't let me sleep with her, and we were in an apartment, and I ended up sleeping in the hallway. And I think my brother or my mother, she was they were like, you don't want to sleep there, fucking get cockroaches and shit. But I ended up sleeping there. I fucking put a little fucking, I put my sheets there, my pillow, and I went to sleep there. And with the light on, it's so fucking weird, man. I can't believe I did that shit. I would never fucking do that shit now. I'd just be like, all right, I see how it is, Mom. I'm just gonna go. But that's what a kid does, that's what a fucking kid does. And then I remember my sister, she told me, she was like, if you sleep by yourself 3 nights in a row, I'll get you an Xbox 360. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And my brother-in-law at the time, her husband, her boyfriend, I think at the time, but, he was like, that's a crazy ass deal. You're telling me you can't do that? And I didn't do that. She ended up getting me the Wii later on anyway. A little bit for different reasons, I guess, or because she just kind of, she just wanted to give me something. But I think it was because the in-laws family had a little bit more technology than I did. She was usually she's the one that bought me my PlayStation 2, my Wii, so... but I could have gotten a fucking Xbox 360, which, if I fucking think about it, had I grown up with an Xbox 360, my whole life would have been different. It would have. It totally would have. I'm not kidding. The shit that I would like would be different, I believe. At least a little bit, right? You know what I mean? But no, I fucking grew up with the Wii, and I think that's why I have a soft spot for Nintendo in whatever way possible. And I played the Wii quite a bit. It's crazy shit, man, these small things, these sliding doors moments, right? I think as they call it, with Gwyneth Paltrow, I believe. She has a movie called Sliding Doors, I believe. I don't fucking know. I got that from a book called I Take My Coffee Black by Tyler Merritt. It's a great book. You should read it. But anyways, that was it. We are a little bit on the shorter side, and that's because I think I just fucking said everything I needed to say. So you should fucking be thanking me right now, because I could be at 28 minutes right now, but I'm not. And I also don't have any guests right now. It's just me. But thank you so much for tuning in to this conversation. This is really great. I shared my deepest, darkest secrets and a little bit even more than I originally probably intended to talk about, but I did. I feel completely safe with you guys. I think honesty breeds honesty back. I think it's better to be honest at the end of the day than anything else, because you have nothing to lose when you're honest. Just like the darkness, there's nothing there. So you have nothing to lose. So, but anyway, I say again, please, someone answer me. Is it anyways or anyway? I really need to know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning back in again. YouTube people, thank you. Podcast, audio listeners, thank you so much. I think that's it for me. You guys take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.